Midnights with Mike at 11 on the dot, where the jokes are warm and the laughs are hot. Mike Bochetti's the name, he's got the charm. With a face like a teddy, no cause for alarm. You've seen him with De Niro, you've seen him with Stern, but now he's here solo. It's Mike's big turn. He's got the jokes, the wit, the surprise. He's Staten Island's greatest comedic prize. It's Midnights with Mike. 11 on the clock.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Midnights with Mike at 11. It's the star of the show. You know him. You love him. You probably want to kiss him. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Mike Bochetti!
Everybody, all our friends and foes around the world, from New York to like Pango and all places and above and below. This is my great friend and creator of the show, Mr. Bob Tamburo.
Oh, you nailed it, buddy. 2 for 2.
Well, 2 for 2. I'm getting better at this because, yeah, but Bob, when you went to school, did teachers make a mistake with it at all? Or no, they always screwed mine up.
Oh, constantly. Nonstop. And, you know, it's not the hardest name in the world to say, but it's also not easy. The best one ever just called me Damn Jackass because he thought it was Damn Burrow.
Whoa.
And close enough.
Well, that's crazy because, you know what? I'd maybe it might have been easier for us to be a Smith or a Jones.
Yeah, but I like the uniqueness. I like standing out a bit. Bochetti in particular is a fun one to say.
Oh, well, you know how you really say my name in Italian? My dad liked saying it that way, Bocchetti.
Oh, like they do in the song.
Yeah, mine would be Miguel Bocchetti in Italian, right? But my great-grandmother had a really cool last name. I wish that was my last name, right? Her last name, right, was what do you call it? I just blanked out. How fucked up is that? I saying what a great name she has, right?
This close to Halloween too, her ghost may haunt you, Mike.
Man, no. What do you call it? I'll come back to it if I get her name again. It's very unusual. What do you call it?
Clearly left
I
an
was
impact
going to say
on you.
Andolini like the Godfather, but that's not even close to it. What do you call it? Oh, Antanasio.
Antanasio. That is a fun one. But, Mike, she's in the past. We're here about the present. What's on your mind tonight?
I want to tell you one quick thing, Bob. That's a perfect actor's name. Michael Antanasio would have been a great name for me.
You could still go by that.
Maybe one day, but I was thinking with me. It's the same stuff, different toilet, Bob. But that makes me think because, how fast and quick life goes by in a flash with us. I mean, it's like you wake up and you're an infant, and then you wake up, and then all of a sudden somebody's lowering you into the ground one day.
That'd be scary if you woke up while they were lowering you into the ground.
I know, it's kind of morbid, but you think about it because, I'll give you a good example. I have my nieces are very young, like you. They're in their 30s. They were born in the 90s and late 80s. And they're probably about, 10 years old. They used to visit my mom's house, but they'd always come to visit. We had, a swing set in the yard for them, picnic bench. And I would sit there and think, whoa, because I was your age now. And I was think, wow, 20-something years earlier, I was sitting there with my grandparents and my great uncles and aunts. And now they're all not here anymore. And one day, I'm not going to be at the bench with them anymore one day. And it's going to go on and on, like how life evolves and goes on. And, and you can quickly get forgotten in the mess. I mean, that sounds horrible.
Well, it seems like death's on your mind a bit, Mike.
Yeah, my uncle's wife passed away a couple of days last week, over the weekend. But they had a great story. They were high school sweethearts, what do you call it, since high school. Got married. They were married for 32 years before my uncle died of a major heart attack in 52. And she just died on Saturday. But the cool thing is that they're together again after all those years. That's the most important thing.
They get to see each other.
She was a widow for 27 years, and you don't want to see anybody miserable, Bob, because No, but I mean, just life in general itself. I mean, you turn around like Bob. I mean, you're super young in your early 30s, right? I mean, it goes. It's like it's just I don't know how to explain it. It's like I'm sure like kindergarten to you was a long time ago. Remember? I mean, kindergarten to you was like 25 years ago.
Something like that.
Kindergarten to me was like 55 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You
Mike, I
know,
got to ask you a question, though, about your aunt and uncle.
Sure.
There's another great podcast. It's the Adam Friedland Show, and Nick asked the question. So you go to heaven, right? And she's waited these 27 years. Her perfect heaven is reuniting with your uncle, right?
Absolutely.
But what if she gets up there and your uncle had like his high school sweetheart who died in a tragic accident when she was 19? And like that's his heaven, is being with her. And now she gets up there, she's the other woman.
Well, I don't know how God works it out, but that's a great question to have answered. I don't know what goes on up there, but I think it's a lot different anyway than here on life, because I don't think there's any kind of like, there's no hostility up there. There's no pettiness, no jealousy. I don't think, you know what I mean, right? I think everybody's just, it's another world where everybody is internally happy, where there's no animosity, you know what I mean? Where everybody gets along, where like people who are crippled can, do triple somersaults. I mean, people had autism, you know what I mean, have the brain of Einstein, had a normal brain. You know
Some
what I mean?
people would say they have the same brain, huh?
Yeah, but I think it's a different kind of place. Like, and I also think some people may disagree with me. I think our animals go there with us too.
Oh yeah,
Because you know why? They God's creatures too, Bob. People say they don't have a soul, but they definitely are family to us. I love that. It's animals a lot.
no, that's true. You know what they say about me, Mike? I got soul, but I'm not a soldier.
Yeah, but have you ever had any animals, Bob? We always had cats and dogs.
I think I've told this story, not on here, but I had a cat with an ex, and we were kind of raising it together, and I got the feeling there was another dude entering the picture, Mike.
Oh no!
So what I did was I trained this cat. So I would show it a picture of him and then spray it with a water bottle so it would attack the picture.
Oh
And
God!
when we eventually broke up, they had to give the cat away because it kept attacking him.
Whoa!
That's loyalty.
Well, my brother used to feed my dog raw chop meat and show him my picture.
Wait, say that again?
My brother used to feed my dog raw chop meat
Oh, no.
and show him my picture.
Oh, God. You were the other guy in my story.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, let's wrap up our thoughts on death. What do you think you should do then with life being so short and fleeting? What do you think's the way to make the most of it?
Just don't worry about the small stuff and take it by the horns. Try not to get angry at all the time, and just chill out and enjoy what you got, what you have, and what's going to happen is going to happen, and just don't stress.
Don't stress. That's really actually pretty beautiful, Mike.
Just enjoy it. You know what I mean? And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You know what I mean? To do different things. Try different things if you can. And, I mean, there are people on a bucket list of stuff. There were things I was always terrified of. I've thought about doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm terrified of heights, right? I can imagine me jumping out of a plane, how scary that would be.
Terrifying, right?
Or hang gliding.
Oh, God.
That's even worse, I think.
That'd probably be terrifying.
But I'll tell you one thing, Bob. I did go up in a private plane, like one-seater.
Ooh.
And I went up for a little bit, and I was most scary thing in my life. Never again.
Never. And that day was what day? September
Oh, it was
11th, 2001.
Yeah, but wait a minute, you just made me think. No, I didn't go up that day. But
No, I was
probably,
making
like,
a joke that you were
in
one
the
of those
80s,
guys.
I'm sorry, because, but I also, what do you call it? One thing, I don't know if you ever, because you're from part of the country where that they don't have, they have it much more. Have you ever been horseback riding one once and I was terrified?
I have been horseback riding several times. It's not so bad because the ways I did it, it was like clearly animals that had given up. They weren't going to buck you or fight. They were at camps where people that's what they did every day. They were treated really well, so they knew if they didn't cause a problem, you know what I mean?
It was the height, Bob, because I'm afraid of heights. And how high up you were on a horse.
How you were on your high horse then, Mike? That's where the saying comes from.
But I was like, I love animals, but I never do it again because I was terrified of going on.
Well, you heard it here first. Mike Bichetti hopped off that high horse. We're going to hit it and head to a commercial break here. We'll be
Absolutely,
right
Bob.
back.
I have fears like everybody else does. I'm not afraid to admit them.
No, you're the man, Mike. And that's why everybody loves you. We're going to hit a commercial break. We may be back with some more Mike's thoughts. It may be something different right after these short messages.
Blau.
So fucking good, isn't it?
Use code Mike, M-I-K-E. People have been looking and searching for Bigfoot for years. I found him. Well, I kind of found him. Psychic Bigfoot. Use code Mike, M-I-K-E. Silk City Hot Sauce has a new flavor. Psychic Bigfoot. Use code Mike, M-I-K-E. Silk City Hot Sauce. Psychic Bigfoot. Use code Mike, M-I-K-E. I may have not found Bigfoot, but I found something just as good. Psychic Bigfoot. Code Mike.
Sorry, that was a little bit longer. I had to eat some wings, obviously covered in Silk City hot sauce, using promo code. What is it, Mike?
Promo code Mike, M-I-K-E, like me.
Perfect. And I don't know if you know this, you're becoming a bit of a viral sensation.
Oh, wow.
Have you noticed?
I've had viruses, but not viral online yet.
You and me both. The doctor says it's treatable, but not curable.
I don't know if
what that means.
Treatable because I'm still shitting up bricks when I get sick. You know what I mean,
Oh,
right?
Jesus. Well, thankfully, this isn't Weird Medicine with Dr. Steve. This is Midnights with Mike. So while we did have a bunch of your new fans reach out and
Oh, nice.
want guidance from you, none of them are thankfully medically inclined. So what I've got here is I've compiled 3 tweets that people kind of reached out, help me out. Mike was the hashtag we used. And if any of the fans listening wanted, your advice on certain situations, they could leave it in the comments below, and maybe we'll get to them in a future episode. What do you think?
Oh, nice.
You think that's a good idea?
Yeah, I love this idea. I like people asking stuff and opinions on stuff, and I value it. It's really nice and respectful. It's fun.
Well, you're a wise man. So what I did is I
Thank you.
grabbed 3 of the tweets I thought you could probably help with the most,
Okay.
and I'll just read them to you one at a time, and maybe you just kind of give your thoughts. How's that sound?
I feel like Aristophanes. Although, is that the right guy? I'm sorry.
Aristocracies? I think he was buoyancy.
Oh,
I think you want
Socrates. I'm sorry.
Socrates or Aristotle?
Socrates, I think. No, wait. Which
They
was
were
the
both
poet?
philosophers.
I forgot. One was a philosopher and one was a poet.
I think they both were actually
I
philosophers.
got them mixed
but
up right here, but I mean,
Clearly, we are neither. So the first
no, I
tweet
was
we have,
wrong.
Mike, we're going to get into it. The first tweet we have comes from a gentleman. His handle is @TommyBoyWalmart21.
Well, Walmart's a cool place to shop.
I think he probably works there based on the tweet. He says, "Hey, Mike, I'm in desperate need of advice. I'm a 21-year-old virgin, dropped out of college, and now I'm working at Walmart. My 24-year-old manager is smoking hot, and rumor has it, she gets around, if you know what I mean. Problem is, I've never even kissed a girl, and I have no idea how to talk to her without sounding like a total loser. How do I make a move without embarrassing myself or getting fired? Help me out, man. Prayer hands. Hashtag
Okay.
virgin problems. Hashtag Walmart crush. Hashtag no game. Hashtag help me, Mike."
Well, you know what? This is a very tricky one to answer because, first of all, it's very difficult with the situation because you shouldn't crap where you eat. You know what I mean? It's like I worked with people before that I had crushes on women like that, and it's like because it could turn out to something good, turn into something bad. It's very hard dating people where you work, but at the same time, what you should do is just, when you have time, feel her out, first of all, you know what I mean? Because say hi to her, you know what I mean? See how she responds to you. And you know what? She may not even be somebody you want to even be with because you got to see what she's like as a person. I mean, sometimes the heart takes over. It definitely does with me, and infatuation and crushes are a great thing to have, but you got to, act upon them somehow. And I would just start a conversation up, see how it goes. Don't push anything. You know what I mean? And then take it slow and just be a friend for a little bit. Because sometimes friendships will come out of more. And I wouldn't rush anything with her because you got to know who she is. And then it's very tricky at work because, you're stepping on a landmine here almost. Because if it goes the wrong way, you can be fired or she could bring you up on harassment charges or something if you go about it the wrong way. And as far as the version goes, you know what? Maybe there's some other woman there too that made life secretly like you. You got to, talk to them all. You know what I mean? Somebody, and especially your age, in your early 20s, women today are very aggressive. They're a lot different than when I grew up because women today maybe started up with you.
That's very possible. Let's say
Just
he
get
starts
into-
talking to her and she starts giving him some vibes. How should he approach it then?
Then just, without being too pushy, find out, a little more about her, talk to her, and then suggest to her, hey, how about we, after we're done with work, go out for a bite to eat or coffee and just chill or just or maybe we can go out to dinner one night or lunch, or whatever you want to do and see how she reacts to you.
Mike, he says he's never even kissed a girl. I think perhaps, could you role play it? Let's say the manager's name is Amanda.
Okay.
Could you, how you would handle it, how you would, approach her, maybe hit her with a smooth pickup line and then.
Well, I don't know about smooth pickup lines. I wish that I was the king of those. But I mean, I would just say, hey, Amanda, what's going on? What do you call it?
Hey, Mike.
And just, hey, Amanda, what do you call it? So what's going on today? Anything good?
No, typical day at Walmart.
Yeah, we know how that is in this place. I mean, I know you always do a good job to keep it going good here.
Yeah, I keep it good like my pussy.
Whoa, Amanda, let's back it up a bit because now repeat that again, Amanda, because I'm not used to hearing those kind of words coming out of a woman's mouth.
Bet you'd like me to back it up on that hard dick, huh, Mike?
Oh, yeah, yes, Amanda. Yes. Listen, Amanda. How about I stick it in you? Give me the hot beef injection in the fucking in the break room when nobody's there.
Whoa! That's completely inappropriate, Mike. You can't talk that way at work.
I'm sorry, Amanda. That's right. This is 1966 anymore.
Mike, we're gonna have to call HR.
I'm sorry, Amanda. I don't want to have a lawsuit coming up against me and have go to what do you call it, HR for 5 months, and then go to crush and anger management and other. I don't want to have to be taking kids on school trips, apple picking to make up for the stuff I did.
Oh, Mike, I think you nailed out how to help our young Tommy boy there. What do you think?
I think so, because the thing is, first of all, I really don't like the crap I eat. I got burned to the steak like that. You know what I mean?
Oh boy, tell me that story.
It's happened to me, when I, worked in a gas station. I've hit on customers, you know what I mean, and I shouldn't have, but I was wrong.
I get that. Well, let's move on then. We don't want to, I don't know the statute of limitations on sexual harassment, so.
No, I really harassed them. I just asked them out. And
I'm just teasing you,
one
buddy.
of them was really bitchy. She was I was like, hey, maybe we can go out for a drink or not. She goes, I don't think so. Like that. And then
That's kind of mean.
the crazy thing is, after she said that, her brother wound up working with me at the gas station after that.
Oh, God.
And
Probably
the
keeping
thing
it
is,
on you, huh?
but her brother was totally cool, and I never let that bother me, what she did to me. You know what I mean? That was her, not him. You know what I mean? And we actually became friends with her brother. He was way cooler than she ever was as a person.
That sounds awesome.
But what's crazy? That was when I was 21 years old. On my 26th birthday, she wound up working the bar where I went, and I remembered her. And I, even as a cocktail waitress, said, hey, can you have a drink with me for my birthday? And she goes, I don't drink on duty. She got snotty with me. You know what I mean? I'm like,
I think you dodged a bullet with that one, buddy.
just an idiot to begin with. How I met her was she dated my friend for a while, and if she dated him, she was sweet to me then. But you know what? I don't really know where she is right now, and I don't even care where she is.
She's not here. She should probably get some advice from you, like our next guy. We're going to do just one more for the sake of time.
Okay.
So this comes to us from an account that's at S. Combs, not Puffy.
Wow.
He says, hey, Mike, things are a bit rough right now. Had my house raided. FBI took thousands of bottles of lube. It's a long story. and now I'm battling some wild-ass allegations. Got a feeling I could bounce back, I just don't know the key. Any advice on how to make my move while keeping things professional? Asking for a friend.
Absolutely.
S. Combs. Hashtag rough week. Hashtag need help.
First of all, if you're asking for your friend needs to get one of the best lawyers in the country. If the FBI can raid your house, you're going to be in for a lot of stuff, my friend. Whoever this is, if it was your friend or you, and first of all, it depends on what you did. You know what I mean? The FBI don't just raid people's houses for the fun of it. You know what I mean? And the thing is, whatever they found or whatever they could prove, you may be having a lot of federal prison time on your hands. And I would definitely, before you do anything, get a great criminal lawyer or for the defense authority, because you're going to need one to get out of this. I wish that I was one myself, but that's the first thing you got to do. And don't panic. I always tell people, because it depends what they found in your house. I mean, first of all, if
I
they're
see, Mike. It says here in a follow-up tweet, they took a bunch of tapes that were documenting illegal activities, but good news, he has very powerful people on those tapes and is willing to turn state witness.
Oh, no. You better be, if he has powerful people like that on tape, the FBI may, if he has people like that on tape that are powerful, he's going to try to threaten to blackmail them. The FBI may lock his butt up, take him to Guantanamo Bay, and torture the life out of him.
I think he's willing to testify against those people for the FBI, though.
Well, you got to watch who you testify against, especially who it is, because there are some people who will just, depends who you're testifying against, especially powerful people, because especially if they have the money and the clout to do stuff to you, I would just, I wouldn't threaten too many people if I was them.
So what should he do?
Just get a lawyer and try to battle it and battle it out and see what the outcome is. You may wind up doing time, or you may wind up, getting away with it. But if you turn some of those people in, it could be a win for you, or it could be going to prison for a long time.
Well, you heard it here first. Get a good
He's
lawyer.
like up a river, Bob, without a paddle.
You might say he's up Schitt's Creek with paddle.
Oh, no, he threatens people like that, with a clown like that. You better watch who you're threatening.
I mean, that is a good point. What do you think might happen?
I don't know. Maybe do something bad to him, or just ruin his life somehow financially.
Well, that is true.
Or do something physically bad to him, or or maybe he'll disappear. Or go after his family. You don't know what they're going to do.
Do you think he might accidentally kill himself?
Or maybe, they could, do something really bad, like if they're that powerful, maybe freeze his bank accounts.
I think they've done that.
Freeze his bank accounts and take stuff away from him like that. I mean, well, if they froze his bank accounts, I think it's time for him to back the hell off from them then.
All right. Well, on that note,
if they can freeze his bank accounts, you don't want to mess with people like that.
No, you do not. So, on that note, get a good lawyer. And
great lawyer.
Do not panic.
And don't panic. And if they froze your bank accounts, buddy, I would not be threatening too many people in any life.
No, that's a good point. One last piece of advice I'd give them: get yourself a bottle of Silk City hot sauce and use the promo code
Mike.
Blow.
So fucking good, isn't it?
You're looking for a little spice in your life? Go to Silk City Hot Sauce and use code MIKE, M-I-K-E, for all your tasty needs. You'll get the best of the best. Go to Silk City Hot Sauce and use code MIKE, M-I-K-E. It's a variety of hot sauces for all tastes and needs. Go to Silk City Hot Sauce and use code MIKE, M-I-K-E, and tell them I sent you. You'll be glad you did. Silk City Hot Sauce.
Michael Kennedy's got the facts, so yeah, he'll take you back to everywhere. From ancient Rome to the wild, wild west, Mike makes history the absolute best. Learning starts when Mike's on the scene. History's cool, know what I mean? From pyramids to kings and queens, with Mike Bocetti, it's a history tree.
Hey everybody, this is our history part of the show, which I told you about. And I'm going to talk about a topic that I really like, and I think it's interesting, especially over the recent years, because when I was growing up, I was gullible, like a lot of kids would just believe everything you were told. As I got older, I started questioning stuff. And here's the topic of the week: man landing on the moon in 1969.
Yo, I'm Buzz Aldrin, first name on the moon. You conspiracy fools, I stop at your tune. Step into me, man, you must be delirious. I hit that gray rock, ain't got time for your theories. Do you think I'm a fraud? Better sit in your place. I flew on that rock and now I'm up in your face. Keep talking fake, I'll hit you with facts. Plant that flag while you still your ass. You Subarus with that CGI trash. Start calling me out, get slapped with the past. I'm a legend in flight, y'all missed in the dark. Step to the eagle, get wrecked by the shark. Kneel to the first step, I'm in my own mark. Doubters wanna spark, I'll tear you apart. Buzz Aldrin, Betty Big Reels to 69. Keep faking that crap out, bury your mind.
Okay. First of all, like I talked about last week, this is logical version and a scientific version. And this is a tricky one because there are two versions to that. First of all, back in those days when I grew up, right, people were very gullible. Even some adults. I mean, not as much as they are now. Because, and think about, when you think about, people have been thinking about space travel since time began. Since cave people looked up in the sky, they were wondering what the moon was and maybe how they could get there. That's always been something of a mystery to us, right? And the thing is, you know, this was 1969, Bob. The world was still another world at that time. I mean, especially technology-wise. I mean, you're talking about somebody going billions of miles away at the same time that people on Earth that needed a friggin' road map to go 50 miles. That's how remote we were down here. You know what I mean? And the thing is, like, that's how things were. And for people who think we were going to go to that place was like mind-blowing. It was mind-blowing. Okay, now here are the theories about it, I think. First of all, people centuries ago, I mean, you know, people always were interested in flight as well as the moon. You know what I mean? How they're going to get there. And I think that, you know, over the years, over the centuries, people were trying to figure out, all scientists like the 1500s probably would, you know, telescopes, and they were looking at the moon, and they probably, in their own brain, figured how we're going to get there one day. But the bottom line is that, like, they tried to get there, and now the conspiracy part of this, there are people who believe, Bob, we didn't really get there at all. I mean, like, first of all, like, the logical thinkers, right, in those days, were, like, super strict, like, everything had to be their way, like, you know, like, and everybody had short, crew-cut haircuts, like Dragnet, the TV show, and they were, like, all, like, you know, against young people, and they didn't have thought for anybody but themselves, and they, you know, just had a contained way of thinking. They think it was either their way or the highway. You know what I mean? And the thing is that, you know, they thought that, you know, it was all staged, Hollywood film stuff and things like that, you know, and they even, you know, thought some of the astronauts, like Buzz Aldrin, who was one of the first astronauts on the moon in 1969, they thought, you know, oh, well, oh, yeah, right, he's going to say he went to the moon because he's a government employee. And the government, you know what I mean, would, you know, heckle him if he went against them or did anything like that. But I think, you know, growing up, I thought it was the most wonderful thing I've ever seen in my life. You know, I'm like, wow, we went someplace people always wanted to see. Unique, they brought back moon rocks. Man walked actually there. So many people wanted to see it, right? That's, you know, that's the, you know, 8-year-old me, right? You know, enjoying it and loving it. You know what I mean? Didn't even question it, give second and third questions. But then you like the 40-year-old me or so, maybe a little younger than that, started thinking, you know, our government did some good and bad stuff to people. Did we really go there? How could they prove they got that far away, especially in those days? Because things weren't even, you know, up to par. Because, like I said earlier, Bob, you're traveling in a rocket ship, millions and millions, billions of miles away, probably even, right? Meanwhile, back on Earth, you couldn't drive 7 o'clock at night across the country because you needed a road map. You get lost. There was no GPS. There were no things like that. There was no, like, you know what I mean, oxygen in the universe. How could they really do it? And people claim, like, oh, yeah, those rocks, they could have brought it back from, you know, like, It's a place where is it now? It slips my mind. In Arizona, that's really beautiful. It has like colored rocks and minerals and things like that. People were thinking that, they could afford you like that and fake it and puff the moon landing. But I really do believe that it happened. But it's hard to believe because think about it, Bob, right? They said they went there, right? The technology here couldn't do anything. I mean, what do you think? Well, okay, the motivations originally were there was a race to the moon against Russia at that time, right? JFK wanted to go to the moon by the end of the decade. He started early 60s campaigning for it, right? And the sad part of it is, I was going to bring it up earlier. You just triggered something good inside me, right? Why they stopped going to the moon landings, right? Bob, you got to remember one thing. When people landed on the moon, our country was like a boiling pot of holy hell because there was a civil rights movement going on here. It was really horrible. You know what I mean? For people, how people were black people were treated here. There was a war going on in Vietnam. They were fighting a country that was like, they weren't even sure they were fighting. I mean, like they, at least for World War II in that time period, our relatives knew, that Japan, Italy, and Germany were the enemy at that time to us. Over there, they didn't know they were fighting. It was horrible. And the thing is, like, that we had so much turmoil going on here and people were starving here all over the world, the homeless, dead and hungry. And that's why they stopped the project because it cost billions of dollars, Bob, in the 60s money, billions. That's trillions now, easily, trillions of dollars, right? For what? See if somebody could walk on a planet we never seen before, when the money could have been used for so many other things. They only did the moon mission landings from like 1969 to 1972. When they ended it, when they figured, they didn't have the funding for it anymore. Which what do you think, Bob? I mean, wouldn't you want to save the Earth itself with all the things going on, or you'd rather find out what's going on in another place that wouldn't be mad at you? Absolutely, because, Bob, starving people in the world, in our country, other places, there was a war going on. There were, civil rights. There were things they could have, use that money for to benefit people more on Earth instead of seeing what was going on up there. The JFK was the one to see what was going on, and it was a race between us and the Russians. And I really, 90% of me thinks we did really go there. Because you know what? I mean, science is illogical, like I always said. And the thing is, can you prove we didn't go? Think about that. I don't think you can. Very hard to, because first of all, Bob, they just like, and it was a big thing. I mean, so many people, like billions of people around the world were like freaked out by it. I mean, it was one of the like first technology things to burst. Think about it, Bob. Before that, people were just basic people. I mean, you didn't have things like that going on. I mean, look what it opened up, Bob. It opened up like, like the Man on the Moon opened up to like, like other things happening, like computers, people going to other things, you know what I mean? It's like, it just turned the world upside down a generation later. And it's like, maybe that was a good part of it that came out of everything. I think that, there was a lot of stuff going on in the world, and it might have been the perfect subterfuge for a conspiracy, because you know what? People work best for conspiracies when there's chaos around them. Think about it. We had civil rights going on. We had a war halfway across the world, a lot of people. We didn't know why they were fighting them even. You know what I mean, right? They were fighting them to fight them. You know what I mean? And the thing is, like, it very well could have been a conspiracy, but I think that there's a lot of hard evidence we went there. And like I said, 90% of me totally agrees, Bobby, that we went to the moon and that was it. And the other 10% is like, logic instead of science. When you think about it, Bob, right, it's like, really think about it. The moon was billions of miles away, right? Airplane flights were still like, remote in some places. You know what I mean? How could that be? I mean, you probably didn't even have airports in some parts of the country at that time. And they go into a place a billion miles away, and they have an airport. They can't go to Cincinnati.
fucking good, isn't it?
Looking for a little spice in your life? Go to Silk City Hot Sauce and use code MIKE, M-I-K-E, for all your tasty needs. You'll get the best of the best. Go to Silk City Hot Sauce and use code MIKE, M-I-K-E. It's a variety of hot sauces for all tastes and needs. Go to Silk City Hot Sauce and use code MIKE, M-I-K-E, and tell them I sent you. You'll be glad you did. Silk City Hot Sauce. Go to Silk City Hot Sauce and use code MIKE, M-I-K-E. Go to Silk City Hot Sauce and use code MIKE, M-I-K-E. Go to Silk City Hot Sauce and use code MIKE, M-I-K-E. Go to Silk City Hot Sauce and use code MIKE, M-I-K-E.
So fucking good, isn't it?
Midnight with Mike at 11 on the dot, where the jokes are warm and the laughs are hot. Mike Bochetti's the name, he's got the charm. With a face like a teddy, no cause for alarm. You've seen him with De Niro, you've seen him with Stern, but now he's here solo. It's Mike's big turn. He's got the jokes, the wit, the surprise. He's Staten Island's greatest comedic prize. It's Midnight with Mike. 11 on the clock. Sit back, relax, and enjoy, just watch. Oh, he's a man of many quirks with jokes so bright. You laugh so hard, you'll stay up all night. It's Midnights with Mike at 11 on the clock. Sit back, relax, and enjoy, just watch. The man of many quirks at hard and she at he just there, he or she. Got Matthews, got the jokes, yes, though with a surprise. He's Mark, may God pray for right. It's Midnights with Mike, 11 on the dot, where the jokes are warm and the laughs are hot. Mike's taking us on silly midnight slide. That's and June duty in tight. It's Mike at 11 making your job